So let's okay. So I think we have 12 people here in online, and I'm not sure whether anybody's. Probably nobody's learning from the world's wisdom today. So those who are attending teaching at the Words of Wisdom in person or online, I think they're online today. So that's good. Let me just- So okay. So thank you so much, Chapala, and thank you for everyone to coming. And I said Tashitileg, a big greeting from Bodh Gaya, the Buddha's enlightenment place. So probably everybody know what is Bodh Gaya, where is Bodh Gaya, and what is the significance of it. So I'm staying at the Root Institute. It's the FMT Center, and from tomorrow we're going to do another 10 days study retreat here in Bodh Gaya. So Bodh Gaya is known as the most sacred shrine for the Buddhists, but also for those who are seeking or those who believe in the peace and compassion, because Buddha symbolizes the peace and compassion universally, right? So I think it's really fortunate for us to pay a greeting from Bodh Gaya, the land of Buddha's enlightenment. So really, really happy. So I see many people that are familiar is here, and a lot of people are here actually. I think today is the last day of Nyingma Melam. It's good to know a little bit of background. So Bodh Gaya is where Buddha meditated for like 6 years at his asceticism. And then the Mahabodhi Stupa, which is, not far from here. I think if you walk, probably take about 15 to 20 minutes, I think. If you take it auto rickshaw or car, 5 minutes or something like that. So there's a Bodhi tree. So if there are some new people here, good to know this. So the under the Bodhi tree, right now there's a stupa called it a pagoda called Mahabodhi Stupa. And in front of the Bodhi stupa, there's a Mahabodhi Stupa, there is a tree called Bodhi tree. So under the Bodhi tree, Buddha meditate, like for many, of course, when you look at the biography of the Buddha, it say like 6 years as a citizen, meaning he meditated under the Bodhi tree, and he got enlightenment under the Bodhi tree. And if you travel to India, Buddha's actually also looking at the Buddha's biography. Buddha's actually cherished trees a lot, so which some significance is there. But that's something kind of background of the Bodh Gaya and the Bodhi tree. And I think it's good to share this. Uh, Last week, maybe when was that? On the 19th in Mongot in South India. So our retreat was the last day of the retreat was 18, and on the 19th, all the participants of the retreat we went to, or our half of that. I think it was actually optional in a tour. We went to visit the Ganden Monastery. So people who are new, I'm giving some of the in background. It's very important. Ganden Monastery, which was founded by Lama Tsongkhapa in Tibet, 14th century. And now we have in Mongat, we went to pilgrimage for Ganden Monastery. And when we arrived at Ganden, His Holiness is visiting Ganden on the 21st, and there were a lot of preparation going on at Ganden Lachi. It is a common prayer hall. Both the Ganden Shartse and Ganden Chanse come together to do special prayer, pujas, debate like this. And there were a lot of preparation going on, cleaning, sort of things are going on. And then because of that, we run to Ganden Changse Monastery. And when we arrived at the Ganden Changse, there were monks were actually dressing up, bringing their yellow hat, and there's a conch shell like this. I know what's going on here. down the abbot was actually right. Okay, can you? Okay. The body tree. It's really, really important thing. It's because it's significant there. So very important monks, a teacher from Sri Lanka, with some of his students probably, they are coming, bringing the Bodhi tree to Ganden, and it's actually the original branch of the Bodhi tree where Buddha sat, meditate, and achieve full enlightenment, which the main original one, which was in India, and then the branch which took from Bodh Gaya to Sri Lanka, planted there. So in Sri Lanka, there's big, the Bodhi tree in Sri Lanka is really huge. I visited one time, and they consider it's most sacred shrine for the Buddhists in Sri Lanka. So the monks were bringing this, the Bodhi trees this big, and they had we ran around, and we saw the trees, we met the monks, and also we ran up to His Holiness room because they were bringing this Bodhi tree at the main shrine first, and then they took on top of the prayer hall, and they did some kind of formal ceremony. And then on the 21st, the long life prayer, where then Ganden, both the Ganden Lachi, meaning Ganden Changse and Sherse together, they offer long life prayer for His Holiness the Dalai Lama. So before the long life prayer, His Holiness the Dalai Lama went to consecrate one school or something at Changse, Ganden Changse, and then also bless the Bodhi tree, and they plant the Bodhi tree at the Ganden Changse. So, it is something very special connection that is really making, and we are all connected. This is, something really special. Okay, so this is some sort of story that I want to share because it's good to know what does it mean by Bodhi tree and why we care about the trees. And there are many different ways to looking about that. Here I'm just telling how much the connection between Buddhas and the Bodhi tree, and then how it's really connected to both Gaia. And Buddha got enlightenment under the Bodhi tree. And then we are studying psychology. Without thoroughly understanding the mind, enlightenment is not possible. So that's kind of a background. Okay, let's start with our, something proper motivation first, and then we will discuss a little bit about the importance of the mind and mental factors and like that. Okay, so I'd like to invite all of you to just sit in a very relaxed manner, the physical body. When you do meditation or some contemplation, sitting proper position of the physical body is very important. So everybody, if you're comfortable, it's good to cross your leg is Vajra position. If not, sit on chair is fine. The most important thing is straight your spine, but don't be rigid, but very, very relaxed and completely normal manner. Straight your spine, and then the two shoulder completely relax. And then just make sure that your feet, the knees, and the hips, and all in completely natural and relaxed manner. And then the neck, not really completely, not bending or not, like backward or downward, just normal manner, normal position. And then eye half closed, half open. So why not completely open or not widely open? Sorry, not widely open or not completely closed. So if you completely close, our mind sink. or mental dullness occur, if you if you keep the eyes widely open, mental wandering or excitement comes. So because of that, half close, it's appropriate way to do the meditation. So setting the physical postures that, yeah, just very relax and just scan your body very, very relaxed way and make yourself very comfortable and bring both the body and mind just be very, very relaxed in normal manner. Okay, so with this, you know, physical posture, let's visualize meaning, let's bring Buddha Shakyamuni and His Holiness the Dalai Lama in front of us. I mean, bring your mind. The mind just visualize very clearly Buddha Shakyamuni and His Holiness the Dalai Lama is in front of you. And then his, the loving, caring, embracing, looking upon us like the mothers looking up when their only child. And the Buddhas, and so it's in all the Buddhas, Bodhisattvas from 10 directions sounded to the Buddhas, Buddha Shakyamuni and His Holiness, right in front of us. Imagine that they are in front of us in person. Mentally, we can, have, in person. It's not really just kind of imagination. It's real. It could happen. And then we say the refuge field and then the bodhicitta fields. So all sentient, all dear mother sentient beings surrounded you, meaning think about your parents, the immediate parents of this lifetime parents, your family, friends, or all beings that include human, animals, gods and goddesses, elrams, angegos, each and every sentient being with us, meaning surrounded with each one of us. Why we are doing that? Because we are all seeking happiness and peace, and nobody wants suffering, and nobody wants suffer, and nobody wants uneasiness, and nobody wants, like unhealthy mind or the body. So it's the same thing. All beings are wishing, if possible, long-lasting happiness and complete peace. So because of that, we are seeking some guidance or some refuge from the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas who are in front of us. So we are doing this mental exercise is very, very important. So, when we're imagining the Buddha's Bodhisattva in front of us, meaning that we have support, we have friend who can take care of us. We are not alone. And then also all the other sentient beings, maybe there are some people who feel loneliness or who feel depressed, who may have some, uneasy thing happening in their life. Just imagine that they are all with us and try to find the lasting peace, mental peace, and happiness. So, and then so we have the refuge field and then the bodhicitta fields, and then the purpose of the practice or the purpose of visualizing refuge field and the bodhicitta field is to fulfill the purpose of or the meaning of our life. And the purpose of life or the meaning of life could have they could have many, but the main thing, the more long-lasting purpose is bring within our own mind stream long-lasting happiness and peace. And how to do that? by removing the affliction or the removing the mental negativities which disturb us, known as the three poison, ignorance, attachment, aversion, and ignorance. And how do you really remove them? By applying the proper remedies or the shining wisdom, the light wisdom, which should be complemented with bodhicitta and compassion. So with this mental state, let's try to a few minutes meditate on single pointed meditation, focusing on the breath. So we have the Buddha's Bodhisattva in front of us. All the Mother Bear, Mother Center rings, are surrounded us. And then also our long-term purpose, a long-term goal is to achieve long-lasting happiness and complete peace. And for that, we need to have our mind had to be very sharp and stable. And if the mind is not that stable, if we keep, the two main kind of obstacle to build single pointed mind, the mind wandering or the mental hesitation or the mental thinking or dullness, to to free from these two main obstacle, we need to, establish or cultivate stable mind. For that, we'll do 3 minutes of samatha meditation, okay? Focusing on our breath. Okay, so we don't have the bell, but that's okay. Focus on your breath. Exhale and inhale and exhale and inhale a few minutes. Nothing else. Thank you. I'm sorry. Coffee. Okay. Yes. Thank you. And now talking about we move to the sevenfold division of the mind. So, I mean, so can you share the textbooks? Okay. So, sevenfold division of the mind here. So the mind and mental factor. Just keep in your mind that mind and mental factor there. When you study about psychology, it's always think about that. Okay, we have to learn or study about mind and mental factors. And then there are many different ways to classify or put into category. And mind and mental factors or primary mind. Another word, primary mind, main mind and mental is mind. And so since you have many new people here, so you're dining in here, so wisdom. And because of that, since we have new people, one of the what are the sevenfold division of the mind? Since we have in the screen here, sevenfold division of the mind. So what are they? Direct valid perceiver, which is in the number one, inferential cognizer. Let's just get familiar with the term and then try to understand the meaning. Okay. Direct valid perceiver. So mind and mental factors. So when you say mind, it's a subject. And other than the mind, they are all object. Mind can also be object certain time, but in general, anything that exists in the world, in anything that exists in the universe, classify into like a subject and object. So the mind is subject, and then the others are object, meaning you know other than mind. Other than mind, it could be a table, mountain, house, whatever. Okay, so mind, when you say mind, it has to be the subject that perceiving an object. So that's why you call it direct valid perceiver. So when you say perceiver, because remember that the mind is defined as clear and knowing. Remember that? Knowing, perceiving is similar kind of understanding there. So perceiving, perceiver, mind is becoming perceiver, and it perceives the object. So direct valid perceiver. Number one, direct valid perceiver. What does it mean direct valid? It will come, the definition will come a little later. Right now, just try to get the term, familiarize with the term. Number one, out of the sevenfold division of the mind, direct valid perceiver. Number two is inferential cognizer. Inferential cognizer meaning it's not directly, when you say direct, subject and object directly engage. The inferential cognizer, object and the subject did not really directly engage. The mind the cognition, the inferential cognition engage with the object through the generic image. Remember this, it's called generic image. Just get this, the term generic image in Tibetan you call Tenzin. Or the generic image, another term that they use it like generic image Tenzin. Imagine, no, sorry, what's that?
A meaning
There's another
generality.
term. Yeah, meaning generality, exactly. Meaning generality, or generic image. So the inferential cognizer is subject that cognize the object through the generic image or meaning generality. And then subsequent cognizer, it's not necessarily cognize the object, but it is subject. Okay, correctly assuming consciousness. Okay, just get the name of it one by one, and then more in detail it will go later. Correctly assuming consciousness, which is number 4, and non-discerning direct perceiver, number 5, doubting consciousness, number 6, and deceptive or wrong consciousness is number 7. So the order just keep in that way, because there must have some reason for that, putting on that. So now I'll move to the direct value perceiver, number 1. Okay, out of the 7 sevenfold division, number 1 is direct value perceiver. Okay, now the direct value perceiver, the meaning of the direct value perceiver, a non-mistaken knower. Okay, mind always has to be knower. Like clear and knower, right? Clear in knowing and knower. Knowing, knower, there's a subject there like some kind of, what do you call it? Tenses things or grammar here. A non-mistaken knower that is free from conceptuality, free from conceptuality, like a influential cognize or correctly assuming a non-mistaken. Okay, now, so non-mistaken meaning here, okay, a non-mistaken knower that is free from conceptuality, direct valid perceiver are 4 types. Okay, without going to the 4 types of the direct valid perceiver, I will just make some example of a direct valid perceiver. Okay, direct value perceiver, and the meaning. Maybe good to maybe good to memorize the meaning of the direct value perceiver. A non-mistaken knower that is free from conceptuality, and it has 4 types. And the number sense direct perceiver. Hello. Okay. I don't think it's because of the internet. It's just the devices are making something, because I have really good data. And it keep dropping a little bit. So sorry, but this is technology. It's out of my control. Okay, so uh, you could just give an example, and maybe pick up something that whatever you have in your hand, and then look like this. With eye consciousness, look at this object. So you see that the eye consciousness see directly, right? For example, can you see me like this? These are really good experiment. When you say direct value perceiver, the sense direct the sense direct perceiver, sense direct value perceiver. Direct here, sense direct perceiver. You could add sense direct value perceiver too. Sense direct perceiver not necessarily valid, because in the Tibetan word it's called tsema, tsemin. Here, the number 1 is we say sense direct perceiver. It just says sense direct perceiver, not really sense direct valid perceiver. So, okay. So why we are doing that? It's because the mind is it's not really, mind is different than the physical body. Whatever that we are looking at, our eyes looking at the object, the eye can see the object clearly, right? The eye can see the object clearly, right? Right or no? Anybody have any idea? The eye consciousness can see, not the brain or the not the eyeball or the eyelash or the iris, because our eyes, yes, the eyes, the eyes consciousness can see not the organ or the sources or the the nothing else, not other than the eye consciousness. It is kind of clear or not? So it's good to do some experiment about, yes, my eye consciousness can see. So if someone have like a damaged eyes, then you cannot see. Because of that, the eye consciousness, in order to be able to the eye consciousness see the object clearly, you have to have the condition. Condition meaning, that there are three main conditions. The condition of the object, the condition of the what was that? Eye sense sources, and then the condition of the immediate preceding condition. Just keep them in your mind, okay? So eye consciousness is one example, and then the ear consciousness can perceive only the consciousness can perceive the visual, only perceive like a smell, and that the tongue consciousness can perceive only a taste, and then the bodily consciousness can bodily or the physical body consciousness can perceive only touch. So the five sensory consciousness, their object is more like a fix. Only those five sensory objects can perceive by each. So anybody have any kind of doubt? Maybe the bodily consciousness can perceive sound, because you can debate, because these are really topic that people can discuss and debate. I want to ask people to do some discussion. Can the body consciousness, can the bodily touch, the body consciousness can perceive sound or not? Anybody have any idea? Because then I'm
Hi,
curious,
Geshema.
because
This is
there are
Lisa.
people who like yes. Okay.
Yes, I believe the body can
Do you
feel.
have body can no, I'm saying the the body consciousness, let's say, not the
Uh-huh.
body. The body
The
is
body
just the physical
consciousness.
thing. The body consciousness, can perceive sound or not. My particular like a question is, the body consciousness, can the body consciousness perceive sound or not?
Yes.
How? Can you explain?
Um, so I think sometimes you may not be able to see or hear sounds, but you can feel them. Whether it's like you can't see it, but maybe there's a car coming down the road, or there's something going on a couple streets over. Like I think your body, your consciousness in your body, and your energy feel that's around you can feel it. You may not see it or hear it, but I think you can still feel it.
Feel it. What do you mean by feel it? The body.
Yes.
I mean, if there's a car coming, the car sound, you can hear the sound that you can hear by the
Yeah.
ears, right?
Yeah.
But
But if you,
I'm just particularly asking the body consciousness. The
yep.
body can perceive or can perceive the sound or not? Because I am asking this because I have debate. I want to debate with that, because there are some who are like blind from birth,
Mm-hmm.
and they are able to write and communicate through like emailing, texting. They can understand through this. So This is why I'm just bringing it up because
Yeah, so
okay, communication. Okay,
I think when we lose one of our I call them senses, our consciousness, our eyes, our nose. I think our other senses, like our body can take over. So you may not hear it, you may not see it, but your body like can feel the vibration. Like if a big truck, like your body
vibration.
can feel the vibration of things
That's
that
a
are around
that's
you.
right. The vibration is like an object of touch rather than object of sound. I mean, sorry, object of the ear. So the vibration, the feeling, it's like a bodily. It is object of a touch rather than the others. But I actually particularly asked like the sound itself.
Hmm.
So anyway, is we can do a lot of discussion and we can do a lot of experiment with this kind of thing because some people they can but there are special way of learning them. Those who are like a special needs people who are blind or who are deaf, like deaf meaning they can't hear from birth and they can't really and see from birth, but somehow they learn how to communicate and how to write letter, how to emailing people, and how to really communicate, discussing in a special very really like kind of sophisticated kind of topics. So this is really interesting things that we can do a lot of research on these things. Anyone else have any idea about this? With my question about can the bodily consciousness perceive sound?
Can I ask a quick clarifying question about it?
Okay. Uh-huh.
Do you mean like I know that are you connecting the body as in the perceiver of feeling or I forget the word for it, but it's like what consciousness.
Body consciousness.
Okay, so the perceiver of feeling, not the
The
mental aggregate of
feeling,
like
yeah, the
thoughts.
perceive.
Yeah,
Right.
I would say no. I would think that you would need the physical condition to like hear sound. Because if we didn't have ears,
Mhm.
then I don't think you can hear. But yeah, you could maybe
Right.
use
If
other
you
senses to kind of understand your surroundings, but not necessarily hear, because then you need like the cause and effects for it.
right. So what do you think, Neil?
Um, yeah, Geshema, I agree that I don't think that the tactile consciousness, like the body, can perceive sound because like just like in visual consciousness uniquely perceives, shape and color,
Mm,
our hearing
mm,
consciousness is what, uniquely perceives sound.
mm,
Although I did
mm,
hear that like for a Buddha that any
mhm.
sense consciousness can like perceive any other sense
Oh,
consciousness. So for a
Buddha is a
Buddha,
very different
perhaps
story. For Buddha is a very different story. Now we are talking only for sentient beings.
in that case,
So we're talking about, yeah,
then I would
only
say
for
that
sentient beings.
that
Um,
the tactile consciousness for that reason can't perceive sound.
okay, okay. The reason why I'm asking is, people who are deaf or blind from birth, and they can read and write and communicate. So here, language. Usually, language is supposed to be sound or not. Like the reason why I was asking is language. Language in general, the script is different. Script is like a like a form, but communicating, reading, and writing, and it is language, right or not? What do you think, Chapala? Chapala, right?
Yeah, this should be classified as as you're saying.
What was that?
I said this should be classified in that way.
Well,
Classified that way, meaning
Like it is. It is.
it
well,
is language, right?
Yeah.
but I mean,
So
sorry. Oh, well, I was just saying,
if
I mean, sound is not language.
sound in general, sound in general is not language, but the language necessarily sound or not.
No,
The sound in general is not language. I agree with that. But the
that doesn't have to be sound.
language, language cannot not necessarily sound.
I mean, if you're going to speak it, but if you're going to write it, it's not.
Yeah, I think you could classify it in either way with that.
Right,
You
right,
could
right,
have
right,
a, you
right.
could have a
Okay.
written language or a language that formerly people spoke and then no longer speak.
Okay, speaking language. Okay. But you mean when you say classify, meaning speaking language and written language. That's what you mean, right?
I mean,
Okay. All right.
yeah, you could have it kind of both ways, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And if you want to
Both way
complicate
mean?
it even further, language could be feel too, like Braille, that people they don't see it
Braille.
or
Oh
don't
yeah,
hear
yeah,
it like
yeah.
Helen
Yeah,
Keller. They just
that's a
feel it.
good observation for sure. Yeah.
That's good idea. Brilliant. Okay. Anyway, so you can do this. The classical textbooks usually these are given about ear consciousness can only perceive sound. Eye consciousness perceive only can perceive a visual object, and then only the nose can only smell, and the tongue can only taste, and then the body can only the touch, not other than that. But then you could make some kind of complication, like example, bring it in. How about that? How about this? This is how we really gain the knowledge, and how this is how we, like sharpen our mind, to, like accumulate more of that knowledge, and that's how slowly that ignorance will eliminate. So, anyways, this is it's a little bit of you know discussion topic. Think about it. So, okay, non-mistaken. So what does it mean by non-mistaken? And also you each have to think about it. Okay, sense direct perceiver is non-mistaken, has to be non-mistaken. So how do you know that non-mistaken and non-mistaken? So, okay, the eye consciousness seeing this object directly right now is non-mistaken. Meaning what? Anybody get any idea what I mean? What does that mean? The way that the eye perceive it exists in the reality. Because of that, it's non-mistaken. Matulwa in Tibetan we say top of the like free of conceptuality and non-mistaken.
But I think by not mistaken, you just mean that you're taking in the visual input, but you're not necessarily assigning any value or label to it. Is that correct?
Okay, non-mistaken meaning you're perceiving it as it appear to your eye consciousness. I mean, you're perceiving that the eye is perceiving the object, the visual object, without any mistake, meaning without like distorted anything else, right? But
Yeah, without
labeling
like
thing, of course, yeah,
right.
without
Yeah.
yeah. So labeling, when you say labeling, it's when you say label, then it's come to the the mental consciousness rather than the sense, right?
Mm.
Okay, so not mistaken.
I think um, I
Uh-huh.
think
Okay,
non-mistaken, it can be a
okay.
physical aspect of it, or it can be mental aspect. So to be short, it can be um, um, non-mistaken, meaning has no defect nor any obscuration.
Oh, right. not mistaken, mainly free of conceptuality has to play a role here. What you're saying is also a thing like that. Non-mistaken knower that is free from conceptuality. Non-mistaken. You say what did you say? Non-defected. Defected meaning what? Not defected to the eye or what?
That's no defect, to the perceiver, and that can be physical defect or mental defect. So if, for
Physical
example,
defect.
if the perceiver has a physical defect, so meaning that the physical body has some defect, then it cannot
Physical defect, for example,
perceive.
no. For example, okay, for example, someone who have a cataract or someone
Cataracts.
like that. What do you mean?
Yeah, yes. For example, if somebody has a disease with the eyes, in the eyes. Okay, so
Right.
that can prevent that person to perceive an object
Mm,
correctly. And so
okay.
that's one example. Another example, if there is the physical condition is fine, there's no defect there.
Oh,
However, the person has obscuration in the mind,
person.
in the
Okay.
yes. So
The
that can
person meaning.
interfere with the perception as well.
Okay, so how the mental distortion affect to the eye consciousness? Because here we are only talking this direct perceiver, not really like not touching to the mental consciousness. Because eye consciousness here in the sense direct perceiver, we are talking about the sense direct perceiver. So then sense direct perceiver have like a mistaken as well as the valid sense direct perceiver and the mistaken like a direct perceiver. For example, in a sense direct perceiver, the valid one, which if you pick up the pen and look at the eye looking at to the pen, and then the eye perceiving how the pen appear from the object. You are perceiving it exactly, like a validly. And then if you as you said, if the eye, like an organ or the eye sorry, the sense power, it defected. There's something wrong with it. And then because of that, instead of seeing that, like a white color, the white color pen as a white common kind of example usually we give is someone who have like a jaundice, very, 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 like strong jaundice illnesses or disease. And these people who are looking to the, snow mountain, the snow, the color of the snow is usually white. But those who have, the eye diseases, and because of the eye disease defect, and instead of seeing this white color, the snow snow which is white, it sees sometimes the disease like a yellow, right? It's a purely visual object, but because of the defected to the subject, and you see yellow. And then another, example people often give, if you put like a blue goggle on your eye, and then in reality, the color of the snow is white. And then if you put the goggle on you and then look at the, white, snow mountain, you see it's blue. So now we need to ask the question about where the mistake can take place, the eye or the object. It has to be the subject of the object or the in between. where the mistaking taking place. Because in reality, because we are talking about the non-mistaken and how it mistaken and how it's non-mistaken. So sense direct perceiver have, one is mistaken, another one is valid and non-mistaken. So, naked eye without any hindrances, without any distorted, and looking at the snow mountain, the eye can, eye consciousness can perceive the snow mountain as how it appears as white, and it's perceived as eye white. And then if you're wearing blue goggle and looking at that, and then it the to the eyes, it actually appearing blue instead of white. So where this mistake is taking place, we need to ask that. It's the distortion or it's taking place to the subject, the eye's consciousness, or the object. Where this mistake taking place? Anybody have any idea where we can just think about and then come up with your own kind of our own, each one of our own like analysis. The distortion is really hard. In looks like it's that the distortion taking place with the eyes, because you know how is what what make any idea? I can learn from you too.
Sorry, we lost you there for a minute. I think we were
Oh,
we I think as suggested in the chat, you could try just turning your video off because I think that might be the only way.
oh. So you can't hear well? That's what you mean?
Yeah,
Can you hear better now?
we lost you, so I'm assuming that might happen again. So
Oh, okay. Yes, the video off the better. That's good. Yeah. Okay. So now, did you get my question?
can you ask one more time, please?
The question is okay. Since that the direct value perceiver, the meaning or the definition of direct value perceiver are non-mistaken. Direct value perceiver, I'm talking, are non-mistaken knower that is free from conceptuality, right? And direct value perceiver are four types. And then sense direct perceiver. Sense direct perceiver. So I was just making the sense. All the sensory mind, sensory consciousness are direct perceiver in reality, in general. Direct perceiver meaning the subject and object directly meet or engage without the conceptuality or without any other mediator. And my question was, when we're looking at the snow mountain with naked eye, without any distortion or without any hindrances, you could see the snow mountain as white, and the eye consciousness can perceive in how it appears as a white. But then if you put a blue goggle on your eye and then looking at the snow mountain, and the snow mountain appeared to your eye consciousness blue, but in reality it's white. The color is white. In reality, the color is white, but because of the blue goggle that you are wearing, it's appearing blue. So I'm asking where this mistaking taking place. What makes the eye sees the white color of the snow as blue? Did you get my question?
Mhm.
So what
Mhm.
makes it? What makes the eye sees the blue, so the white colors of the snow as blue? In
Well,
reality,
well,
it's
mhm.
white, but because we put the blue
but
goggle
but right, but in
and
reality, in reality though, it's hitting a blue screen before it hits your eyes. So in reality, it is it is changing frequency, and hitting your eyes is at a different frequency.
What does it mean by that? Frequency.
Well, I mean, it's the interference of the screen is changing the frequency of the light, and then therefore you are interpreting it as a different color.
So interpreting, the brain is interpreting, or the eyes interpreting, or the mountain itself.
Well, I think the mountain may be
The
the certain
interpretation
color,
is
but
happening where?
the
White.
perception is being changed by a physical object that's changing the light.
I think if we look for this knower, then we won't find it residing on any specific location. However, when all the conditions are together, presented together, then the knower comes. So, for example, let's say the observer, because look at the definition, the direct perceiver is produced upon the aggregation of three conditions. So if any one of these conditions is missing, then the knower is not produced. So if we have the mountain, but if we don't have the uncommon empowering condition or the previous consciousness condition, then there is no perception at all. And the same thing for the other two conditions as well. So, but when they are presented together, when they meet each other, then the knower is produced. So that is my my answer to Geshema's questions.
So the knower,
Okay,
you're saying,
so
is the expectation that it be white?
So, for example, so let's say that for this person, right, wearing the goggles, a colored goggle. So the object condition we all know is a mountain. The and if it's sentient beings, then we know that that person has a previous consciousness condition. So that's a given. Okay. So now it's just an uncommon empowering condition. So, for example, if the person wearing the color goggle does not have the understanding that, okay, if I wear this color goggle, I could see object, with the same color as the goggle that I have on. If that person has that knowledge, then the person can distinguish, oh, okay, so I look at the mountain and the person will not have the mistaken understanding that the mountain is green or yellow. Okay. Because knowing that, okay, yeah, my goggle color can affect, what I see there. And then, but that is one scenario. Another scenario is that another person who does not have the awareness that the color of the goggle can interfere with the perception of the object. Okay, if that person has no awareness of that, then the person can think that, oh, you know what, that is strange. That mountain or that object, it has that color. Can believe in that.
But there's still only so many conditions that would have you see the mountain is white, because it could be darker out, and then and if you're always going out in the dark, then everybody would see it as gray.
Okay, Angelo. So what you're saying is, did you say uncommon, like a present condition or common present condition? Okay, if I'm sorry. Angelo?
Yes, yes,
Can
I'm
you hear me?
here. I'm here. Yes, I can hear you.
Can you yeah, can you repeat what was you saying? It's an
So
interesting
for
one.
example,
Can you
let's
repeat once
say,
again? Okay.
yeah, so for
My
for
question was actually like, okay, I'm listening. We are listening.
so so in Geshema example, that is the physical obscuration. In this case, is the color of the goggle. Okay, and it can affect the perceiving, of the object. Um, However, if the person who wear the goggle has the awareness that, okay, the color of my goggle can interfere with my viewing of certain objects.
Awareness. Okay.
Yes,
Right. Okay.
then
Awareness.
that will, that will reduce or eliminate the wrong perception of the object. Okay, versus another person who has no such awareness. Okay, so they may be mistakenly believed in what they see through the color of the goggles, and think that, oh, the object that I saw has the true color, where it may not be true.
How it appears to the eye is not true, that definite, right? When you're putting a blue goggle on you, and in reality it's a white, but it's appeared to the eye as a blue. And then when you say believing, believing is a different story again here. Believing is only can be done by the mental consciousness, right? So, when we, by knowingly, its reality is white, and then by putting like a blue goggle, or maybe it's, some, eye was affected by like illnesses, and it appear as a yellow or blue, and it appear to the eye consciousness is blue or yellow, in reality is white. And those people who are aware in reality is white, those people, even though it's appear to the eye as a blue or the yellow, they won't believe it is yellow snow or blue snow. They won't believe. But it appear to the eye consciousness as blue or yellow. So my question is, what makes it appear yellow? And there's mistaken, right? It's not mistaken. This eye consciousness, that in reality is yellow, like a white, but it appears to the eye consciousness blue or yellowish. So where this mistaking taking place, the white, what make it appear as blue and yellow? The mistaking is on the object, or the eye, or the organ, or the person, or somewhere in between. The distortion is happening where? And that was the main question. So believing it's white, yellow, those who know is reality is not believe, not blue or yellow, they won't believe. They think, well, it's in reality is not yellow, you're not yellow or blue, but it just appeared to my eyes it's like a yellow or blue, because they must have something wrong with my eye, or the goggle make you to see as a blue or yellow. The reality is not yellow or blue. But it's something is really obvious that our eyes, the person eyes, it really appear blue or yellow, blue. Let's say blue, and then where this, what make this, what make this distortion happening? And somebody say about the interference. You could maybe have some scientific explanation could be there, and the classical psychology have some explanations are there, and we can just come up our own, like a kind of like a idea or answer with our own experience. We all often have this experience too, right? Sometimes when you squeeze your eyeball like this, and you could see like the one moon. It's reality there's one moon in the sky. It does like a few kind of a moon just appeared to your eye. When we are little young children, we play this kind of thing a lot, and sometimes we make it like a like a what do you say uh a thread, burn a fire, and then you just spin, and it's make like a ring of fire. But in reality, there's no ring of fire. But by spinning it, it appears to the eyes the ring. It's a ring of fires there. So I'm just asking where this mistaking taking place, because it is mistaken, because in reality is the ring is not there. In reality, the snow mountain is white. The color is white. It's not really blue, but it's it's something is very experiential that we keep it appear to our eye blue or yellowish or ring fire like this. So these are something that you need to be thinking about it. And okay, so any idea? Any what kind of other than explanation that we have for this? Because then I know why I'm asking this non-mistaken. So it's a valid, and then mistaken, and there's a mistaken and destroyed it, and then there's non-mistaken. And when our naked eyes, there's nothing wrong with it, and then the conditions, all the three conditions are there, then we will be able to cognize as how it appear, yellow, blue, or shape, colors, what different colors that the eye can perceive it, and then in reality, it is there. And then the sounds, like like a nice sound, not that sound. Sounds are different, like a different, classifications are there. And then our ear consciousness can hear these, and then you cognize as sounds, and the reality is there. And then, and then sometimes also there's some people who have like, for example, in Tibetan we call it lung, someone who have like a stress, some kind of a problem with wind problem in their body. Sometimes they can hear, in reality, the sound is not there. They can hear something really strange thing. And because of this illnesses taking place, and the illnesses of that, they can hear, like even though there's no any sounds or thing or song or this kind of thing there, but they can hear these things. So these are things that needed to be think about the mistaken, where the mistaking really taking place, what how what make it in the reality, because the non-mistaken direct, like in meaning, so the mental consciousness, it all influenced by ignorance. But there's, according to the Sotantika tennis system here, the sensory consciousness is not influenced by ignorance, I think. But then when you go to the the upper school, everything is like influenced by ignorance, and then because of this reality, and then the seeing, and then reality is different. But the eye consciousness, when it sees yellow like a shape and color, and non-mistaken, the if it is white, you see white. If it is blue, you see blue. If it is like circle, you see circle. If it is a long shape, you could see long. If it is short shape, you see as short. If it is a nice sound, you perceive as nice sound. If it is like tasty, you could taste tasty. If it is a nice smell, you will smell nice. If it is soft and smooth, a touch, object of touch, you will perceive that the body consciousness can perceive it's a soft and nice, something like that. Okay, who is that? Jason, you have raised hand. Do you have a question or comment or your answer?
Yeah, hi Geshema.
Yeah, hi.
I
Okay,
have a question.
okay.
And it's twofold, and I kind of want to try making a point here and see what you think. So my first question is, in what sense is the mountain white? Right? I think that there's a certain way of thinking about this
Oh,
where, okay, there's really a white mountain out there, and that's how it actually exists, right? But this is the problem with this is that like the mountain looks different to different beings, right? Like how a dog is going to perceive the mountain is going to be different from how a bee perceives a mountain, and whether or not it's white, I think is not a
not
a
just
clear
not
a
just
clear thing.
mountain.
So in this sense, we
Uh,
have right a conventional experience for we're saying that human beings perceive mountains as white, right? So
that's for,
conventionally,
for
this
human
is
being.
right for human beings.
For
And then
human being,
secondly,
but in reality, the snow, the color of the snow is blue. Sorry, the color of the snow is white, right?
for human beings, yes.
For human being, yes. Then some animals, no.
That's less clear. I think that's a lot less
I
clear. Yeah.
mean, the snow mountain, and not really, we're not really talking any mountain. The snow mountain, the mountain that covered by snow, and then the snow, the color of the snow is always white. Do you agree with that?
And I'm adding the condition for human beings because I'm not willing to assert that for
Okay,
other.
for human being, and now, yes, exactly. For human being, for sure.
You see what I'm saying?
Right now, it's
So
for
for
human
ordinary
being.
human being, for ordinary common like ordinary human being perception, that's correct. And now
Okay.
I think here's one of the troubles with the example of the blue goggles is that there's a sense in which I want to say for human beings who put on blue goggles, seeing the mountain as blue is the correct experience, right?
It's correct
So
experience. Is it
if
not mistaken?
if you're wearing blue goggles, then that's the experience that one should be having, right? Like it's
No,
correct to
you
see the
are
mountain
okay.
blue.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying?
You're okay. Now the condition here in normal human being, right? And
Right.
normal human being, there's nothing wrong with your eye consciousness. There's no distortion in your eye consciousness at the moment. But the mountain, the snow mountain, in the color is white, and without the goggle, your eye sees white.
Right.
But when you put the goggle on your eye, and then it appear blue.
Right.
And my question is, where this mistake is taking place?
So
Maybe
this is my added consideration
this in
here
the
is that by changing the conditions of perception, you're also changing what is correct and incorrect perception, right? So if somebody put on those goggles and saw yellow and saw the mountain as yellow, I would say that that's an incorrect perception, right? But for ordinary human beings who then put on blue goggles, the correct experience is to see a blue mountain.
But here, Jason, my view, my thinking is that okay, so the experience that person is experiencing is according to that to what that person has, meaning that the person wearing a blue goggle. However, here we're talking about perceiver. Perceiver is a knower. So when we're talking about perceiver or knower, meaning that the ability to know the true existence of that object. So that person may have the experience according to what condition that the person has, but it may not necessarily be the correct perception. This is what Geshema tried to lead us to.
yeah,
So
I'm
here the question
Right.
actually
is,
So this is why I was making the first point about pointing out that we're not dealing with ultimate reality. We are dealing with mundane convention when we're talking about sense perception for ordinary beings.
we're just talking only in ordinary, meaning
Right.
in this according to the Sartantic views, Sartantic is the system views, not really ultimate. Not talking about ultimate reality or conventional reality or other than that. Only because obviously you see perceiver here in this case, the eye consciousness, the perceiver has to be the perceiver. and then the object is this, like a snow mountain, the white snow mountain, and then the immediate preceding condition, the consciousness that immediate before that cause the, like bring about this the present consciousness, like our consciousness that seeing the mountain, and then when you say the unique condition, and then the common conditions are there also. But the question was the perceiver and the perceiver, the subject object, right? And then our consciousness is the perceiver, is a subject. Would you agree or not? Our consciousness is perceiver or not?
Right.
Yes, it is. So,
It
so
is
for
perceiver.
example, so let's go back to
Uh-huh.
Jason question. So let's say that
Okay.
person go to the mountain area with 10 other people in a group.
Okay.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
So let's say there are 10 people in the group. 9 other
Okay.
people do not wear
Uh-huh.
goggles. Okay. And
Right.
they all view
Okay.
the mountain with snow on, and they see that the mountain has a white color. Okay.
Uh-huh.
So this one
Right.
person happened, to wear a blue goggle and
Uh-huh.
see the mountain, the snow on the mountain is blue. Okay. So in
Right.
for
Okay.
that person, experience is the experience happen accordingly to the condition of that person. However, when it comes to perceiving the object, okay, since I
Mm-hmm.
believe that later on we will come to the portion about the knower by like I may not use the term correctly, but by general, by popular knowledge. So
Mm-hmm.
9 other people all see the mountain is white. Only one person see the
Mm.
mountain as blue. Okay, so
Mm.
that means
Mm.
that perception of that person is not
It's mistaken.
correct.
It's
It is
mistaken.
mistaken.
It's not, yeah, it's not correct,
Okay.
it's mistaken. It's
Mm-hmm.
not correct, it's not
Right.
mistaken. Sorry,
Because
it
if
is not mistaken. It is mistaken.
right,
And then the
if
question
mhm.
is, it is mistaken, and then the mistaken, him, what make his or her eye mistaken? The goggle make it, or the color change, the color white color change into blue, or ignorance influence, or the person imagination, or what?
So to
So we
answer
debate these
the
things.
to
Okay,
answer
yeah,
Gus
okay.
my question,
Uh-huh.
is that the mind, of course, play a dominant role, okay, when it comes to
Okay,
perceiver. All
I
right.
see. I see.
So,
Okay.
however, if we actually pinpoint to one specific location for the
Mm-hmm.
perceiver, then we won't
Mm-hmm.
find it because the perceiver only present
What
when
do you,
three conditions are presented. Okay, so let's say
what do you mean by
if
not find?
let's say for example, uh, if say, let's say somebody show an object, okay,
Mm-hmm.
to the group of people.
Mm-hmm.
But that
Mm-hmm.
object, let's say this time they paint that let's say they show a red ball, okay, uh,
Okay.
um, and it's not a white ping pong ball, okay. So
Okay.
then the object has a red color, actually red color, all right.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
so regardless of whether someone wearing a color goggle or not,
Mm-hmm.
the true color of the object is red, not white. Okay, so but let's say that's one scenario. Another scenario is that let's say all the people who uh, observe the object, let's say they do not before
No,
actually
continue.
looking at the object, they already have a perception of that. Okay, Bing Pong Po has to be white because usually it's white. Okay, so let's say without looking
Okay.
at the object.
Let's stick with your first example. You give the example like for 10 people who are walking to the mountain, who are watching to the mountain, the snow mountain. 10 people watching to the snow mountain. The color is white. And out of 10, one person is wearing blue goggle, and then the rest not. Their eyes are not defected nor distorted. They can see the blue, like a white color, the white mountain, the snow mountain color as a white. They could perceive it as a white, and then in reality it is white. For the 9 people, it's non-mistaken. The nine people who is seeing this, the snow mountain as white by their eye consciousness is non-mistaken, nor the eye consciousness knower. It's non-mistaken, and it's also free of conspicuity. And the one person who is wearing blue goggle, who is seeing the white mountain as blue, but he might be believing it's a blue or not. He maybe not be believing, but without any kind of like a doubt, his eyes, for his eyes, the white mountain appear as a blue. So the reason is, putting this in blue goggle make his eye seeing the white mountain as blue. So the main question was, where this mistaken taking place? What makes him to see the white mountain as blue? Did the goggle, change his eye consciousness, or redirect, or the brain have involvements in there, or what happened? The reality is white. That's clear, because the 9 of them seeing the white as white, and in reality is white. And it's not mistaken. It's a direct perceiver. The 9 eyes consciousness seeing directly the white mountain, snow mountain as white, and the reality is also white. Only one person sees a blue because he's putting the blue goggle. And it's mistaken. It's not mistaken. The 9% is non-mistaken. It's valid cognition, a valid perceiver of the eye consciousness, validly seeing white as a white color. But one person is seeing it's blue. Seeing meaning it's not really. I don't think it's like used as a correct, like a perceiving, but it appeared to his eye consciousness as blue, and he might be not believing in it, but in reality, the eye is distorted. The eye consciousness is distorted. The eye consciousness what the eye consciousness seeing is mistaken. So the mistaken, yes.
Can I ask a quick question?
Sure.
The term mistaken and non-mistaken here, do you have
Right.
do you have the Tibetan term for this? Do you
Yes.
know what they're using here?
Tibetan term is matulwa. In non-mistaken is matulwa.
Now, is
and
this
mistaken is tulwa.
is this the same term that gets used for non-deceptive? Like how truth gets defined as non-deceptive?
Okay, trushe lokshe. Out of the 7-fold division of the mind, the last one, deceptive mind or wrong consciousness. So deceptive mind and wrong consciousness is actually, deceptive, it's a wrong consciousness with respect to the object of apprehension.
And
So
deceptive
mind,
is a different term.
Deceptive. Yeah, deceptive is different term. Deceptive, and in comma, it put a wrong consciousness in the textbooks. So the mistaken mind, meaning mistaken mind is actually with respect to the object appearance. Kushe, lokshe. In Tibetan, we call it Tulshi and Lokshe. So Tulshi, Nangil Truva, Nangil meaning appearing object. And then Lokshe, Jugila Truva meaning mistaken with respect to the object apprehension. So the eye consciousness, seeing the white mountain as blue, it's actually mistaken consciousness as well as deceptive consciousness. It appear in reality is white, but for his eye or her eyes appear as a blue. And then also it's not it's not really perceiving, but apprehending as blue too. In the reality, the mountain, the white mountain, that snow mountain color is white, but it apprehending as like a blue. So this is the common locus of both mistaken mind as well as deceptive mind, or wrong consciousness or deceptive mind.
Right. So
So yeah,
you'd say it's deceptive to see a white mountain as blue because
yes,
because for ordinary human beings it's white. So that perception of a
yeah,
blue mountain is deceptive.
it is mind. Yeah, that
Right.
perception is deceptive mind.
Right.
Yeah,
That
that is
helps a lot.
deceptive. Yeah, that's deceptive as well as mistaken.
Okay. Because it's
So I think
mistaken
it's
according to
already
human convention.
Yeah,
To
human,
norms
exactly,
of
human.
human
Yeah,
appearances.
so that's true. It's for human. Animal, there's a different things are there. That's really true. But I think right now here, so we are just dealing with the human beings mostly. But I'm not sure there's no, yeah, we have some example in the textbooks for some, for example, sound. Some crow can hear sounds far distance, but the human, ear have no ability to hear this kind of thing. And some bird, their eyes are so powerful, can see far distant things. But human mind have human eyes have no ability to see this kind of things. There are many examples in the textbooks I mentioned these things that are there. And then also like a dog nose is so powerful, they can smell of far distant, but human nose have no ability to smell this kind of thing. So this the human, non-human, how this sensory consciousness actually occur. These are mostly mentioned in the classical textbooks of the philosophy textbooks. So there's so much we need to learn. We can learn. Okay, so I think it's already time, and I feel much better. I got cold off, but I'm so happy being in Bodh Gaya, and I'm so happy to share that we are using the same planet and hearing the Buddha's enlightenment place. And so thank you so much for everyone. Thank you, Venerable Chupila. And thank you for everyone to coming. And I think today our internet connection is more or less stable in a way. And let's dedicate our merit that gather together for the Lord. Dedicate this merit for His Holiness the Dalai Lama live long, that his wish will fulfill. And may all sentient beings find peace and happiness. And then may the Buddha's teaching, the compassionate Buddha's teaching prevail to reach to those who are seeking mental calmness, peace, and happiness. So let's take few seconds to rejoice what we have created and then dedicate. Yeah. Thank you. So have a great day for everyone. And continue to
Inche,
fun.
Geshema,
And continue
Geshema.
Thank you so much, Geshema.
Thanks very
Thank you,
much.
Geshema.
Geshema.
Thank you, Geshema.